You are watching The Wellness Hour, the leader in medical news and information. I'm Randy Alvarez. Today's topic, green dentistry. With us, we have the co-founder of Eco Dentistry Association, Ina Pockrass. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Randy.
Now, we've had your husband, the other co-founder, on the program. He's a dentist.
He is.
Using green dentistry. I guess he's the first green dentist in America.
First green dentist in the country. In fact, we think, in the planet, maybe, the solar system, we're not sure. We haven't checked.
Now, one of the reasons why we invited the program today is this Green Dentistry Conference, okay? I guess the first of its kind.
Absolutely.
Tell me about it.
So this is going to be an absolutely rock star conference. Every dentist should come to this conference. It's going to be at the Sundance Resort, the Robert Redford Conference Center in Sundance, Utah. It's a Condé Nast resort. It's a great way to get awesome CE, gourmet meals, natural environment, and really connect with the leaders in green dentistry and sustainable business. And it's an intimate conference where there are only going to be about 100 attendees, but all of the companies that are coming and all the speakers that are coming are all going to attend all of the sessions.
Great lineup of speakers.
A-list speakers. So we've got Howard Ferran from Dentaltown is going to be there. And I don't know if you've ever heard Howard, but he's very dynamic.
Dynamo.
Just going to talk about creating tomorrow's successful practice today. And Gary Takis is going to be there. Jack Hadley's going to be there. We're going to talk about social media and how to really use those tools that all of us are using on Facebook to the advantage of the dental practice. And then a lot of great hands-on learning. So CAD cams, lasers, and a whole digital office segment. So it's going to be really an amazing conference.
For people that don't know about your association, tell us about it.
So the Eco Dentistry Association was created about 4 years ago in 2008. My husband and I started getting calls from dental practitioners all over the country saying, how'd you do what you did and can we do that too? So we said, let's create an association where we can take the expertise which we'd gained in creating this first green dental office and share it with the world. So the Eco Dentistry Association does three things. We do education, so things like this amazing first conference.
All right.
We have standards, our Green Dental Office certification program, and we also have a certification program.
So you've established standards of what it means to become a great, interesting.
You bet. So, we spent over a year creating the standards, worked with some top lead consultants in green building. So we created standards for green dental offices as well as for green dental products. And the third thing we do is connections. So we've got an amazing website. We've got over 60,000 followers on Facebook, over 4,000 on Twitter, and we're really connecting everyone that's really passionate about and interested in taking dentistry to its next level.
Green is mainstream now.
You bet.
Seems. I mean, and what you're doing is you call it a movement.
Well, it is a movement, and I'm kind of proud of that.
Okay.
It started out as a vision that my husband and I had, and in 2003, green was pretty much a color. And now it's just, you see it everywhere. And you look at big corporations. I mean, companies like Walmart have saved billions of dollars just by decreasing their packaging. AT&T installing motion sensors. They save over $4 million bucks a year on energy costs. These are the kinds of big corporate initiatives that dentists as small business people can begin to take advantage of.
I prejudged you prior to meeting you, probably like a lot of people, right? I thought this was just about the planet. It's more than that. I mean, this is about the business of dentistry as well.
I'm really passionate about that because I understand, maybe more than most people, what it's like on the ground to really run a dental practice and to really appreciate. It's a very high overhead business. It's a very high stress business. And it's the kind of business that really selects dentists for qualities that are in some ways kind of inconsistent with being a good business person. But the reality is that by practicing in an environmentally sound way, you can actually improve the bottom line of the practice, and therefore it will be a more sustainable business.
So you're using like non-toxic materials, et cetera, across the board in everything you do?
That's what we're advocating, and that's what our members are doing. So we've got members, like there's this one doctor and his dad in Fresno. The son, common, dad and son or daughter practicing together. And the son wanted to go green, dad didn't want to do it. Son redid his whole office. He went digital. People say, what's green dentistry? We say digital, everything. So the son said, I'm putting in digital, I'm going to use reusables, I'm going to use non-toxic materials. And the father said, it doesn't really matter. So the son, His business is going through the roof. He told us his supply costs are more than 10% less than his dad's are, and his practice is flourishing and the dad's is not so much.
So you show them how to cut costs on some of the materials, save money on even their electricity. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, so very simple things like, for example, just changing out the overhead lights in a dental practice from traditional incandescents and using either high energy fluorescents or even LEDs are even more efficient. The average dental practice will save about $50 a month just doing that.
Interesting. You know, my program, The Wellness Hour, we air all over the U.S., all over Canada, and typically a doctor will come on my program because they want to differentiate themselves. They want to stand out. And one of the things that I've learned with what you're doing is that's what you do.
That's exact. I mean, you know, really, what we're about is trying to help dentists to see, like, dentists actually have pain. The pain they have is, how do I get more new patients? How do I get my overhead from 65 to 75% of my gross? How do I get that overhead down? But by being a green dentist and really authentically living into that, they can reduce their overhead, reduce their energy costs, reduce their supply costs, reduce their marketing costs. So instead of sending
word
out
of mouth is bigger with these green dental offices?
Absolutely, it's bigger. So what you've got is you've got dentists who they don't have to do these traditional kinds of marketing like sending out a postcard to nearby zip codes. What they have to do is to connect authentically based on shared values about the planet, about the health and well-being of their patients, and connect on those values, and then those patients are going to refer others like them. So there's this huge
They hang out with each other.
That's right. And let me tell you something. You know who the biggest talkers are? The moms. Eco moms in this country, totally underestimated. There is a market segment here that is 33% of women who have children under the age of 18 self-identify as eco moms. They're reading the labels on everything that goes in and on their kids. You don't think they're going to ask their dentist that? Oh yeah, they're going to ask their dentist that. And we know the statistics are 65% of the dental patients in this country are women, even though they only represent 50% of the population. And the decisions are made by those women.
So as your guess, okay, so people have websites, people are doing a lot of things to differentiate themselves, okay? And the public, you know, sometimes I think dentists have been hanging out with themselves so long they take for granted that sometimes the public thinks that you guys are all the same. But for that crowd, this is one way to clearly, with all the clutter, differentiate yourself. Right?
You're absolutely right. It's just like in Seth Godin's book, The Purple Cow in the Field. So you see a field, there's a purple cow, that's the one you're going to notice. Guess what? Right now, the green dentist is that purple cow in the field.
Now, I know people, by the way, they could care less about the planet. But they are worried about drinking out of plastic bottles. They're worried about toxins everywhere, smog and pollution and this and that. So in the dental office, they're probably, you'll attract that kind of person too, right?
You bet. And you know what?
People that just want a healthy environment.
They want a healthier environment because what most people say, what triggers fear in dental patients? What triggers fear in them is smell, the limbic system. We don't think about whether it smells good to have a chocolate chip cookie baking in the oven. We know we like that. Similarly, when you walk into a dental office and you don't know it's glutaraldehyde you're smelling, but I can tell you the smell of glutaraldehyde is the kind of thing that makes a dental patient want to turn around and go the other way.
So the more awareness, the more people may be afraid to go into the typical dental office.
Yeah, and a green dental office is a welcoming environment where there's a values alignment, it smells good, the people can feel like they're getting materials that are actually going to be good for themselves. And I'm really passionate about helping the people that work in dentistry too. So my husband, his colleagues, and people, the hygienists, the dental assistants, these folks are spending 40 hours a week in these offices, and the indoor air quality has a lot to be desired.
Now your background, and we'll just touch on it, but you were a litigation attorney.
And intellectual property. Yep,
right.
Litigation.
And you got wrapped up in an environmental issue of some sort?
I did. I got the opportunity to represent.
That became your passion.
Yeah, it was literally like in The Wizard of Oz when, you know, the world went from black and white to color when she landed in Oz. I mean, literally those blinders came off and I just couldn't put them back on. And it became.
Because you're excited about this.
I'm committed to it. I walked away from a really successful law career because I believe in dentistry and I believe in the opportunities that are presented.
So it cuts costs, increase their bottom line, their word of mouth goes way up. You know, they say about early adopters. that these are the biggest people that talk a lot. People that take, they go to an eco-friendly dentist, right? And then they tell all their friends.
That's it.
They're the biggest mouths.
Yep.
That's what some experts, I'm in marketing.
Well, it's true. Absolutely true.
So you agree with that?
I know that to be true. In fact, we're seeing that in terms of the impact of word of mouth marketing and how green dentists are effectively using social media as the new word of mouth marketing. This is how people are communicating with, they're saying, posting on my husband's Facebook page, just had this great dental appointment today, and then 7, 10 people from our practice go, oh, I know that woman. I didn't know she was a patient there. I think I'm overdue for my cleaning. So the new word of mouth marketing is social media marketing, and this conference is going to rock it on that level.
This is a big, big topic. But you say that dentists create a lot of waste in this country. Really?
Okay, so here are some of the statistics, and I was actually quite blown away when I learned them. So the worst one, in my mind, is amalgam waste. So whether a dentist puts the material in or takes it out, here's what US EPA tells us. Dental offices remain the #1 contributor of mercury, one of the most potent neurotoxins around, the #1 contributor of mercury to our local wastewater treatment.
Is that right?
Local wastewater.
In the wastewater?
3.7 tons a year. That's just unconscionable. To me, you put on an amalgam separator, it goes on your vacuum system, it captures the between 1.5 and 3 pounds.
So it doesn't go in the local water?
It doesn't go in your water
Does
supply.
everybody have that already?
No, here's
Really?
the deal. Only 11 states and 17 localities require it. There's no uniform
So that's part of your
requirement.
certification, obviously.
Absolutely. You cannot be a certified green practice unless you have an amalgam separator and unless you're actually servicing it properly, making sure the material is properly recycled, because there's no more mining of mercury going on in this country. It's over. So
Interesting.
Recycled mercury is used for certain purposes in medicine and in an industry, but it certainly doesn't belong in our food and our wastewater.
Besides mercury from the fillings, what's another big waste product that comes from a dental office?
The hugest second one, what we call in the big four, is from conventional X-ray systems. So most people don't really think about it, but
what's in there?
So conventional X-ray systems require you, first of all, it's 75 to 90% more radiation for humans that receive it. Okay. But there's toxic X-ray development chemicals. So about 28 million liters of that is again dumped into our water supplies by U.S. dental offices every year, as well as we have 4.8 million lead foils. So the lead foils are in that cute little thing that sticks on the X-ray machine. That actually has a piece of lead in it. It has to be properly disposed of. But when you use digital imaging and digital X-rays, all that waste is completely eliminated. Same thing when you think about infection control. So we've got 680 million barriers. Have you sat on a dental chair that's covered in the big piece of plastic?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're a woman and you sit on that in a dress, can you imagine how comfortable that is? Not very. But here's the real deal. When that is taken off the chair every day, so how many of those are taken off the chairs every day? And where do they go? We had a company.
Where do they go?
Well, listen, they end up in our landfills, which are overwhelmed. One doctor office, one hygienist, 16 days of practice. The plastic alone fills a 10-foot by 10-foot cube, just the plastic. There are eco-friendly surface disinfectants.
So chemicals that clean the instruments are done away with?
No, you use steam sterilization.
Okay.
So steam sterilization instead of a chemical.
What's the percentage of people using steam?
It's over 50% of the market now.
Good.
Using steam. And really the market is moving away from chemiclaves.
What do you want people to know about your organization? Look, I talk to a lot of dentists. I feel like I'm in the know about a few things. Probably, I feel like I know more than I really do.
I think you know more about a lot of things, yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, I just thought of you as, green, eco dentistry. I thought, oh boy, they're going to come on the show. And it's not just about saving the planet. But what do you want people to know about you? I mean, what's the #1 thing you want people to know about you?
Is that green dentistry is the future of dentistry, and the people that are getting in now are the early adopters. These are the leaders. These are the people that are
Why is getting in now more important than getting in 2-3 years ago when you have to do it because of the regulations?
Well, here's why. Because right now it is, in fact, a marketing advantage. It is a differentiator when it's real, when it's authentic. If it's just greenwashing, those patients, those eco moms are going to sniff that out. So
Some
it's got to
people
be
will.
real.
Some people will go to your conference because they want to save money, increase their bottom line, differentiate themselves. They'll go in, as you say, I think it was your husband, they'll go in as light green.
Yeah.
And then they may leave your conference and they're going, whoa, I see this. I see the big picture. Do you think that'll happen?
Well, that's
like converts?
That's exactly what we're looking for. I mean, we're seeing the dentists that are signing up already. Some of them are already green. Some of them are what I call toe dippers. They're a high-tech office. They're cosmetic dentists. They're saying, maybe what I'm doing, maybe I'm greener than I think I am. Maybe, and they want to find out how to get the most out of their high-tech investments. That's great. We're going to give them lots of data and lots of specifics on how to do that. And then there are people who are just graduating from dental school and they're thinking about, okay, what kind of a practice do I want to build? Where do I see myself and my whole profession growing? And those are the people that we really think, all of those kinds of dentists are going to come out of this.
Are you going to be speaking at this?
I am, you bet.
What's your topic?
Well, I'm going to do the intro. I'm going to talk a little bit about the environmental pickle we're in as a planet, and I'm also going to talk a lot about the business opportunities that's something I'm really passionate about, because if it's not a profitable business, it's not a sustainable business. So I'm going to talk about that.
So this is big on word of mouth.
You bet.
This is, well, good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And a recap of how people can get involved. They can't make it to your conference, maybe, the first one. How do they get involved?
So we've got a very information-rich website at ecodentistry.org. You follow us on Facebook. We welcome dentists to take our posts and share them on their own Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter. We also have a blog at ecodentistryblog.com that is got information-rich stuff. We've got guest blogs with information about sealants, new techniques, things like that. So lots of ways.
I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Randy.
Very, very good. Very
Thank
interesting.
you.
You've been watching The Wellness Hour. I'm Randy Alvarez. We'll be right back.